Hey there guys, Next and Strike here, back again for another video, and today we're going to talk about Justice League War, the newest animated film to come out of DC, and it will be coming out in early 2014, I believe early 2014, because it was originally going to come out in 2013 and then it got pushed back, so pretty sure I'm right about that. So I would say probably February, March, something like that. And yeah, I hope you don't hear a little noise in the background. It's having a problem with the fire alarm, the battery, whatever. But anyway, so we're going to talk about this, and I know this is like 3 days old, but I recently saw J-Roar did one, and I thought, you know what, might as well, because I've had a bit of a interesting experience with DC, so I figured I'd go ahead and throw the two into one video. So anyway, talking about the trailer, you know, I'd already known some of the changes they were going to make, and I was interested to see how that's going to go down, and I'm still not exactly sure what they're going to do with that, because they're taking out Aquaman and they're putting in Shazam, and I think that's a bit of an odd thing to do, because Jeff Johns made Aquaman such a big deal when he got rebooted that to just take him out is kind of odd. I feel like they could have still had both in there, but maybe have one or the other be a minor role, but still have them in, because Aquaman plays a significant role in the Justice League. You know, he does some damage to Darkseid and, you know, all that. But then past this first arc, there's also the entire Volume 3 of Justice League, which is the Throne of Atlantis. So if they're ever going to plan on doing that, they're going to have to make him a Justice League member at some point, because I'm pretty sure this is why they're doing this. Now, I know that they're going to make an animated Aquaman film, so that might be part of the reason. But I think it also has to do with two things. One, Jeff Johns is trying to make Shazam a really popular character. Now, I don't blame him, because Shazam is pretty cool. Definitely a really, really cool character. And number two is that they're going to do the Trinity War at some point, animated. And I haven't read Trinity War yet, but I know that Shazam is in the Trinity War. So maybe that's what they're going with, because, you know, in the Justice League comics in the New 52, they split up the Shazam story to be more or less a backstory for every Justice League issue that came out. From like issue 7 to issue 21, it was all Shazam backstory. So maybe they're going to try and throw some of that Shazam backstory into the main plot this time. And if so, then I guess that would work. But I still think it would have made more sense to have Aquaman in it and then have Shazam have his own movie. Why not have Shazam and Aquaman have their own movies? I don't think that's that big of a deal, but hey, whatever. But moving past that, that's not that big of a deal. We'll have to see, because I mean, I can't really judge how they're going to use him, because I really have no idea. But I mean, he'll probably be in some cool action scenes, so we'll just have to see what they do with it. Focusing on the other changes, because I'm going to go negative first. I'm going to get all the negative out of the way, and then we're going to talk about the positive, because there is quite a bit of positive to be had here. Okay, so the other negatives would be the two costume changes to Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. Now, Green Lantern, his is more or less the same as he usually is, except he has like these highlighting green shoulder pads. I don't know why they decided to give him those. They just look stupid. I mean, it's probably not that big of a deal, but I just don't like it. You know, it's not that way in the comic books. I've never seen that design, except for the CGI Green Lantern, but I don't think that really I mean, the whole suit was glowing, so I don't know, it just looks kind of weird to have those two random shoulder pads glowing and the rest is like the normal costume. But that's just me. I don't know. It's, again, probably not that big of a deal, as long as he has a big role in this movie, because Hal Jordan was really awesome in Volume 1, and it really made me sad what happened to him later, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. The only other costume change, of course, was Wonder Woman. And funny story about this Wonder Woman costume is that DC did not like what I had to say about it, because I like the DC fan page, or, well, the DC Facebook page, whatever you want to call it. And they often release all of their stuff. And they released a trailer for Justice League War. they released it all over the internet, but they specifically put it on their Facebook page. So I thought, I'll comment on it because I usually like to comment on a lot of their things, and usually it's nice comments, or it's putting some of the people in their place that are always like, oh, New 52 sucks, blah blah blah. People just being negative Nancy's about nothing, who haven't even read the story. That's like, write a review, and they'll be like, it sucks because it's not pre 52. It doesn't make any sense. But usually I do that, and then on this video, I said, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I know I made a comment about Wonder Woman's costume, and I said I don't know why they changed it, and I don't really like it. It wasn't like a nasty comment. It was just saying, like, I don't really like Wonder Woman's design. And I think I said something also like the movie's still going to be really cool, because I do think that. And now DC has prevented me from commenting on their things, and they also removed that comment. So, wow, they get very sensitive about their costume changes. I hope that they allow me to comment back, because, man, I would really like to give some feedback on some of the stuff, but I can't. My hands are tied, so it's like, whatever. Big, look at my channel, big DC supporter, but I can't say anything, so what are you going to do? That's kind of dumb, but that's not really enough to make a separate rant on it, so it's just kind of like, whatever. Okay. It doesn't really affect my life that much not to be able to comment on a picture, but still kind of dumb. Anyway, so now focusing on the positives. Pretty much everything else looks really good. I like the voice cast. Now, originally, I watched the preview, and I liked most of the voices, but I wasn't sure on people like Superman, and I wasn't sure on somebody else. I can't remember. Maybe it was Hal Jordan, maybe it was Flash, I can't remember, but I like the voice cast. The voice cast is very good, and the guy they cast as Batman is perfect. Now, usually, I'm very critical about two things. I'm critical about art style, and I'm critical about the voices, because both of those add to the overall experience of a animated film or comic book. Well, comic book you can't have voices, but you know what I mean, like a video game as well. I comment on the art style and the voices. I'm very critical, especially on Batman voices. I'm super critical. And usually when they release trailers and they release these previews, I'll be like, I don't like the new voice. I don't like the new voice. And then I watch the movie and I'm like, huh. Okay, I like the voice a lot. I like the voice. Very rarely do I go back on that. But this one, I like right off the bat. And I really hope that they use this guy more because, I see what they were trying to do. They're trying to give, it looks like all the characters new costumes. And this is kind of like their reboot of their animated films as well. So maybe they're going to make a new Justice League cartoon and use that voice cast. Now, if they did that, I would be very happy. But we'll see what happens, because that is a very good Batman. I like the Superman. I like the Shazam. Is the Shazam the same one that they always use? I'm not sure. Now, they still use the same guy for Cyborg, which I find funny because it's like no matter how many times that they're like, oh, we want a brand new cast, they'll always go back to that guy who voices Cyborg. Why? I don't understand that. It's like, can they not get another black guy to voice Cyborg? Or let's see, who else do they usually use? They usually use well, I can't think of it at the moment, but they usually do that. They'll go and have all new cast except for this one guy. It's like, oh, that's the guy. It's silly. It's usually that guy. I can't remember his name, but he voices a lot of black characters in animated things, and they use him for everything. So it's like, do you really not have another guy that voices black characters? It's kind of weird, but anyway, getting off that. Voice cast looks really good. The art style looks very good. Looks better than the Flashpoint Paradox art style, that's for sure, because while that was mostly good, it had a few character designs that were very questionable. And, looking at the Wonder Woman design, it's not as good as the one that was in the comic this thing is based on, but I think I'll like it. It's just not as good as the normal one. And overall I think it's going to be really good. I don't really like that they used the dubstep song in the beginning, but that's just kind of more like a, it's not like that's going to be the actual soundtrack, so whatever. Looks like they're adding some added action scenes and other things, so I don't know how this is all going to work out, but I think that they're going to do a really good job with this. And I don't know about Steve Blum voicing Darkseid, and I don't honestly like Darkseid's new costume design because it has a bunch of yellow on it. It's kind of conflicting with his whole, his like encompassing darkness that surrounds him. It's like, he's got yellow on. That's kind of odd, but I don't know. Aside from that, we'll have to see, and I really do look forward to this. I think it'll be another knockout. I've very rarely been disappointed with DC animated films. Very rarely. And there's only like one that I can't watch, and that's what's it called? Justice League New Frontier. Yeah, I did not like that one. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's like one of the best ones. No, hate that movie. Hate it. So boring. Anyway, we're getting off another thing. Yeah, comment below and tell me what your thoughts are on this movie. On this movie, on this animated movie when it comes out next year. Any thoughts? Any gripes? Any concerns? Tell me below. Let me know. And we'll catch you guys later.